In the beginning, when the world was still taking its first breaths and humanity was but a whisper upon the vastness of the earth, a shadow began to stretch across the land. The days were long, the air was pure, and the children of Adam began to multiply, their laughter and cries echoing through valleys untouched by the ravages of time. Daughters were born to them, their beauty like the dawn breaking over the mountains. But even in this nascent world, a darkness was stirring, taking root in the hearts of both men and celestial beings. There was an age before the great flood, a time veiled in mystery and spoken of only in hushed tones, its memory preserved in ancient texts and fragmented verses. It was an era when the veil between heaven and earth was thin, a time of wonder and of great terror. In these days, during the time of Jared, the great-great-great-grandfather of Noah, a momentous and terrifying event unfolded in the heavens, an event that would forever alter the course of creation. And it came to pass, as men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they took for themselves wives from any they chose. These sons of God were not men of flesh and blood. They were the Watchers, mighty angels, beings of light and power, originally dispatched from the celestial court with a sacred duty to watch over the fledgling human race, to guide them, and to protect them. But, from their heavenly vantage point, their gaze fell upon the daughters of men. They watched them in their daily lives, their grace, their laughter, their mortal fragility, and a desire, a longing they had never known, began to burn within their immortal hearts. Lust, a purely terrestrial emotion, had found a home in the celestial. Their leader, a powerful archon named Samjaza, was tormented by this newfound desire. He gathered 200 of the most prominent Watchers, his celestial brothers, on a plain near the summit of Mount Hermon, a place that would soon become infamous. There, under the silent gaze of the moon and stars, he revealed the turmoil in his heart. The decision they faced was heavy with the weight of eternity, a transgression against the highest law. They knew that their choice to abandon their sacred post and descend to the earth would bring forth a judgment of unimaginable proportions, a curse that would follow them for all time. Fear crept into Samjaza's voice as he addressed the assembly. "I am afraid." He confessed his words, a stark contrast to his angelic might, that I alone will be the one to carry out this deed, and that I alone will be forced to bear the full weight of this great sin. His hesitation hung in the cold mountain air, but the 200 Watchers, consumed by their shared longing, answered him as one. Their voices thundered in unison, sealing their fate with a pact. "Let us all swear an oath," they declared, "and bind ourselves by mutual imprecations not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing." So they swore. They swore a terrible oath upon that mountain, damning themselves and forsaking their celestial home. And then they descended. The ground trembled and the very air seemed to crackle with energy as their divine forms, beings of pure light and energy, touched the mortal soil. Men and women looked up from their toils, their eyes wide with a mixture of awe and terror. They had never seen such beings. Their forms were radiant, larger than life, their beauty both captivating and terrifying. A stark and divine contrast to the humble mortals who now stood in their colossal shadows. In a short time, they took wives from among the daughters of men, as their oath had bound them. They taught their human companions secrets that were forbidden, knowledge that humanity was not yet meant to possess. They revealed the arts of warfare, the forging of swords and shields, and the crafting of armor. They taught the women the secrets of cosmetics, the art of seduction with painted eyes and adorned bodies, and the mysteries of precious stones and dyes. They unlocked the secrets of sorcery, the casting of spells, and the reading of the stars, introducing knowledge that would lead humanity further into darkness and away from the divine path. From these unnatural unions, a new race was born. The daughters of men conceived and bore offspring, but these were no ordinary children. They were giants, the Nephilim. The name itself whispered of their fallen nature, meaning the fallen ones. They were a race of titans, their height eclipsing that of the tallest men, their strength beyond mortal comprehension. The scriptures say, the Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. These mighty offspring grew to towering statures, their appetites as monstrous as their forms. At first, humanity labored to feed them, offering up all the toil of their hands, the fruits of their fields, and the meat of their livestock. The giants consumed everything, their hunger insatiable. Soon, the earth itself could not sustain them. The provisions of men were exhausted, the granaries emptied, and the herds decimated. But the hunger of the Nephilim did not cease. When there was nothing left for humanity to give, the giants turned their ravenous gaze upon their creators. They began to devour mankind. A reign of terror descended upon the earth. The giants, these demigod children of angels and men, hunted and consumed the very people they were born from. They turned upon one another, their immense strength now used for carnage and bloodshed. The world descended into chaos. The air, once filled with the songs of birds and the laughter of children, was now filled with the screams of the dying and the thunderous earth-shaking footsteps of the giant Nephilim. The wickedness grew, and the earth itself cried out in agony. Blood soaked the soil, and the cries of the oppressed and the slaughtered rose to the heavens, reaching the ears of the holy angels who had remained in their celestial abode. The archangels, Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel, looked down from the heavens and saw the river of blood that flowed upon the earth and the lawlessness that had consumed it. The souls of men cried out, "Bring our cause before the Most High." The divine judgment was swift and terrible. The Lord looked down and saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intention of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. The world was corrupt, filled with violence at the hands of these giants and the wicked knowledge they wielded. The divine heart was filled with pain, and a decision was made. A cleansing was necessary. A great flood would wash the world clean, wiping away the corruption, the giants, and the sinful humanity that had strayed so far from its purpose. The watchers, the architects of this age of terror, were bound. They were cast out of the heavens, chained in the depths of the earth, in a place of utter darkness, to await the final day of judgment. Their giant offspring, the Nephilim, were annihilated in the great deluge. Their colossal bodies were swept away by the raging waters, their reign of terror brought to a decisive and cataclysmic end. Their spirits, however, being born of both heaven and earth, could not be completely destroyed. They were condemned to roam the earth as malevolent, disembodied spirits, forever hungry, forever thirsting, bringing strife and destruction to the children of men until the final judgment. The mystery of the Nephilim serves as a chilling reminder of a forgotten age, a time when angels fell, giants walked the earth, and the world was brought to the brink of utter destruction. A dark chapter in the story of creation, forever etched in the memory of the heavens. Follow and subscribe for more.